My crafty friends, it's Sheree. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to my craft room. I'm here with a little flip through of our Junky junk journal today. So let me show you how it turned out. Let me just show you it closed first. So we did the cover together. I think that turned out really pretty. I think, well, I tried to stick to all junky junk, and if it doesn't look like junky junk, I'll explain why it is junk. But there are a couple of non-junky junk pieces in here, just because I had to do something and pretty it up a little bit, right? So, yeah, we did the cover together. There's the front. There's the back. We did this little tie closure together. We sewed around it, and I added this little dangle here. So this piece I've had here is hanging in my craft room on my little, I have a little shelf behind me where I hang little tassels and little dangles and things. Anyway, this I found, and I forget where I found it. I know I don't know if it was in a thrift store or a store, but it was just like this all by itself. It's kind of a really thick cardboard piece, and it's from some type of clothing. Like, I didn't buy the clothing and this wasn't on it. That's why I'm thinking either I found it in a clothing store, like on the floor. I've done that a couple of times where I found really cool tags from clothing on the floor, and they didn't want them, so I just picked them up and took them home with me. So this was one of them. Really cool one. It says something about shorts on the back. Hypnotic X shorts. I don't know, adjustable button closure. So some kind of clothing. Anyway, it was so cool, and I've had it here waiting for the journal, the perfect journal to put it on. So I may have had journals where it would go on it before, but I remembered it on this one, so I've used it here. And it actually even came with this ball chain. I did not add that. That's how it came, and I thought, wow, when I found it, I just thought it was the coolest thing. And so I added a few beads on here. So all these beads I did find at a thrift store. They're not necessarily something that somebody was throwing away, but I just wanted to add something onto the ball chain, so I added those. And I did add it's removable. Has a little, one of the little, closure right here on the ball chain. And I did add a little eyelet here to put it through. So I had to do that. So and you can see she turned out pretty chunky. Remember I told you I didn't want to put too many pages because it was going to be chunky. And this is just from me adding a little bit of ephemera. So when somebody gets this and takes out my stuff, adds their stuff, it's going to look like this, just like this, or a little chunkier. And you can see all my little fibers and things sticking out here in the top. That turned out cool. And I got a little ruffle there, and I'll see what that is in a minute. But got a couple little tabs in there. So let's open her up. No more explanation needed. Let's see how it turned out on the inside. So we did most of this together. Here's that pretty paper bag, well, gift bag, not paper, kind of a plastic gift bag we used on the inside cover. And so all the pages are junk mail or menu. There's a menu. This is a menu. And so we did this together, and I explained in the first video, what I pretty much mentioned what all the paper was from. So let's just turn, and if you want to watch any of these videos, I think this is the fourth one. So if you want to watch any of these, just look at my junk journal playlist that's listed below, and you will be able to go back and see all of these videos. So we put this belly band in together, and I had on video I had added this, but since the video I added a little ruffle here from my scrap ribbons box. So this wasn't a ribbon fresh off the reel. These are all ribbons salvaged from gift bags or a little tied on something that I saved, brought home from work, wherever. Just ribbons I've saved. So that is one I just kind of sewed onto there. Little page here. I did add a couple little flowers here. I don't know, I just wanted to put some flowers in here. So I just stapled a couple little flowers on this little page right here. So that, when somebody gets this journal, if you don't know how to use a journal like this, you just kind of just ignore what's on the page and put whatever you want on top of here. Whether it's gluing down a picture or, gluing down some writing space, or if you want to draw something and put it down there, just whatever. You just use your imagination. This is that crinkly Jimmy John's paper. Here's a little pocket that we added together. And I did add a little bitty puffy sticker here. This was floating around in my craft room. Actually, I have one to add here. Another one that was floating around here in my craft room. And I have a little journaling card to add. This is made from security envelope and it's sewn around. And it's got some kind of paper on the back. I don't know if this is masking paper or what, but it's got paper on the back that I added for, you know, writing space. And you could write on here too, you know. If you write on there with a black or a blue pen, you're going to be able to see it. So let's just stick this right in here, actually. So we'll have two little pieces of ephemera in here. This I did add, since the last video that you saw, I added a couple little ribbons there from my scrap ribbon box. And so I was able to use a few of those in here. Here I have paper clips. So let me tell you about these paper clips. Well, first of all, here's a little piece of ephemera that I made from scrappy scrappy strips of paper, and that's actually a brochure I got at when I was on vacation in Florida one time, and I cut it up and used it for a tag. So that's a piece of the brochure, and that's scrappy ribbon. So that's technically all made from trash. I added this little wraparound pocket here after all the videos, so you didn't see me add this. So this is a little wraparound pocket. This was a scrap from the menu. And so it's a pocket on this side and two little, there's a little pocket on this side with the rest of it. That's all the strip that was left. So it's a wraparound pocket. This side is small. And these are two little tags I got in Happy Mail. And these little ribbons or strings on here were from my scrap string bag. So I have a scrap ribbon bag, box, scrap string bag that I told you about. And there's a little postage stamp I stuck on this side. This is I cut my stamps off of my junk mail or any type of mail. So they're technically, you know, a lot of people just throw them in the trash. And so, you know, I saved those. So that's technically a junky junk thing too. So let's see. Oh, I was going to tell you about this right here. So I have just clipped on here a couple of cute little flower stickers that you can put somewhere. But let me tell you about these. There's a pretty little, let me not take it off, but let me show it to you. This is a little paper clip, like you know, the colorful paper clips that are covered. This is a white one. And it has actually a piece of lace, a piece of ribbon, and kind of like a chenille piece of yarn on there. So it has actually 3 things on there. And I have quite a few of those. And I made those at lunchtime, on my lunch break this week. I made a few of them on one day. And what I did was, I actually, let's see, when you see this video, you will already have seen my puppy journal. And so that tassel that I put with that puppy journal was too long. So I trimmed it. And I was left with all these little pieces of fabric and ribbon and different fibers. And so I took those and made these little paper clips with them. So each of them have 3 pieces on them because they're the little pieces of fabric and things. They were too short to tie onto the paper clip. So I just kind of put them up in the paper clip, you know, kind of wrapped them around. And then I used a piece of yarn to tie around the top so that they would stay on there. So that's why there's 3 pieces on there. But they keep, you know, it was technically those little cutoffs, you know, like they were so small, someone could have thrown them away, but I didn't. I saved them and made these cute little paper clips. So yeah, I have a few left over here, but I used quite a few in here because I like to try to, whenever I use a paper clip, I like to try, I've been challenging myself lately anyway to try to decorate them with something, even if it's just one little ribbon, but these have 3 little pieces on them. So anyway, let's keep turning to pages here. Here's the some more of that plastic gift bag that we put this tuck spot on together. This is packaging and these 2 tags that you can write on the back made from tissue box. And here is this page here. Now when you get this, if you want to glue, this is part of that envelope. This was an envelope. And here's part of the window right here. When somebody gets this, if you want to glue this down, you can. I didn't. And I just paper clipped on a tag here. On this tag, on a couple of the tags in here, I did add a couple of ribbons from my because I'm trying to use up some of those ribbons, so I added, instead of just one, I added 2 ribbons on top of all the tags as little toppers from my scrap ribbon box. So, and if this, you can use this as a belly band, you could just, staple it down in the middle. You can glue it down as just a decoration, and then just, glue on top of it or whatever. Here I used some of my strips I sew together. A lot of people throw away their strips. In the past, a long time ago, I had threw away some strips before I figured out that I like to sew them together. So now I have a big basket, not big basket, but I have a container, small container, full, overflowing almost, with these sewn together strips. So I try to use them in every journal, or I put some in my goodie pack that comes with the journals. But I used a couple in here, and I kind of reach in there and try to reach in there and grab them out randomly without trying to go through them and pick out something that matches. And I just so happened to pick this one out, and I put it down here without really thinking about it at all. And all these colors go together. Look at this orange. This is kind of orangey design here, and there's orange here, and there is orangish rusty color kind of in this tag that's made from a tissue box. So I'm just always amazed at how things come together. Here's the center. We did this together, and then here's the next page where I did put on another little, some of my sewn together strips right here. So those are like 2 little, I like to leave them sticking out a little bit too, so they're like little tabs on the page. Here's where we added that little Squishmallow tag. Here's where we added my painty paper plate with my swatches on it, or actually I was using it as, when I was painting. And this is what it looked like after it dried, and I thought it looked really cool. I still really like this, but I told you about my other book covers that I painted. If you didn't see that first video, I showed you my book covers that I painted. And I laid each one out when I was painting them. I took a piece of notebook paper on my table here, and I painted them so I wouldn't get paint on my table. And then I saved all those papers. So this is one of them. So I stuck this, folded this up, and put it in here. So if you want to, you could cut this up and use it any way you wish. But see, if you cut it here, you have the paint on there, and that can be really cool, used as a background. So I put that in there. On this side is another tag. This ribbon I had already put on here when I first made these tissue box tags. Oh, we need to put this in here somewhere. This little we put the journaling card in there. I had sitting here. Now I need to put this in here. So there's another page there. Here's a flip out. I had a little scrap in my scrap box behind me, or my Junky junk basket. I had this piece of paper in here. It's a piece of cardstock that I just put a couple of little kitty cat stamps on that when I was demonstrating those stamps, I just stamped on here. So I went ahead. Oops. I didn't know that was making noise. I was just ignoring it, wasn't I? But anyway, I cut it in half and put a piece here. It's just stapled on. If you wanted to remove it, you could. It's just a couple of tiny attacher staples. But anyway, I thought it was cool there as a little, it could be a tuck spot, and you can write on there whatever you want. But I thought it was a good little, nice little decoration on there. Let's go ahead and let's add this on the other side actually. Let's add this little sticker over here somewhere. Let's add it right down here. A little string on there, hold on. I picked up a string off my table. Okay, there we go. So that's another little puffy sticker I have floating around here. This is another little tissue box tag, and I added 2 ribbons from this green one and a gold one that I sewed on there from my scrap ribbons, and that's on one of those decorated paper clips there. The 3 different fibers. Here on this pocket, we put this on together, piece of the menu here, and then I went ahead and added a ticket here so you could write on there in that little space there. And then here's one of my tissue box tags. And then we have a page here. This has a window in it. I added a few things here for you to have fun with. Just a couple pieces of scrap paper. This is a pretty one with little gold decoration on it. Gold. I can't say that. Gold swirls. I'm trying to join. I think I'm trying to join the word gold and swirls together, but gold swirls and little gold like stars on there. It's kind of feels like a soft handmade paper, and this is a pretty paper too. Just put a couple pretty papers in there and this little sloth sticker for you to have fun with. I said I wanted to, you know, add some things in here too, so you can have fun with these, whoever gets this. That Jimmy John's paper. I added another, like, this is it wasn't in my Junky Junk basket, but this is actually like a Junky Junk thing because I cut this little journaling card out of a greeting card that's, I think this is probably one that my mom gave me, and, you know, most people, or even my mom, you know, and a lot of people just throw their greeting cards out. But I try to go through them. I mean, I do go through them. The ones my mom give me, or anyone else, or any greeting card that I have that I, you know, don't necessarily want to use the whole thing, but I try to cut out whatever I can use on it and find a way to use it. So this was the little sentiment on this one, maybe inside or outside. I don't know where it was, but anyway, it's a nice little sentiment, and I just stapled it right there. So again, that can be removed, and that's a fold out there. The other half of that kitty cat card that I had stamped on, I just put it right here as a little tab on that fold out, and that's the end of the journal. So I hope you enjoyed the process of making this journal. It was I really enjoyed it. This is my first. I think this is technically a real Junky Junk journal, even though I may have added a couple things that weren't Junky Junk. I had to put my own little touch on it a little bit, right? I had to. So I got to do that, a couple flowers or whatever. So anyway, I think it's turned out so cute, and it was so fun that I would definitely do this again. And I have, this is a little Junky Junk thing I had thrown in my basket. This is an envelope that I saved from a file at work that we were closing. And it was kind of, you know, it was used, it was wrinkled like this, and it has a piece of tape over here where it was taped shut. So there was something in it in the file, so I took that thing out because, of course, I couldn't leave that in there. But I did bring the file, the little envelope. It was a little coin envelope. I had to save that from the trash, right? Because we shred all our files, right? It's, you know, personal information and stuff, so we have to shred our files. But anyway, and if I can save the file folder, I can save little coin envelopes. So anyway, I did save this. And so I'm going to tuck in here a few little things I have here. And I may find some more things before this goes to a new home. But I put a couple of these little puzzle pieces that one time I found these at a thrift store. So I'm going to put a couple of those in there. A ribbon from my scrappy ribbon box. A pretty little ribbon here that you can add to something, so that will be in here. And then all of these technically could be considered junk because they were cut from scraps. One way I use up my scraps is I have, you know, I think most of us probably have some type of punches. So I punch out things from my scraps, and these are little hearts. I mean, it can be these. You can use your punches on any type of paper, right? Book pages, scrapbook paper, you know, just anything. And so when you punch it like this, say these little hearts, like say it was a page you just hate it, or you just don't like it and you just want to throw it in the trash. Just punch it, because once you punch it, you don't know what it was before you punch these little hearts or little whatever out of it. Here's some little stars. Or there's one little star. This is this little circle, 1-inch circle that was punched from that is security envelope. This is from, probably from a card. It feels like cardstock, and the word in gold there is caring. And these, I remember, here's another, I knew there was a little star in there. Little star. And the few of these right here, it's a scallop circle. And these were punched from a book that had a lot of it. I think it was an old one. If I remember right, it had a lot of scribbling in it. So I just went around in the spaces that kind of like weren't scribbled on and punched out some circles. I mean, at least I salvaged some of the book. You know what I mean? Look at even this one. I don't know what this is from. Oh, this is from a piece of scrapbook paper. Easy peasy, it says on there. That was from some scrapbook paper I was using up. This too, I think. Isn't that pretty? And then there's a little, this is just a little thing I had floating around here, a little kind of a cardboard, I don't think it's a sticker, you need to glue it down, but anyway, all those little pieces, whoops, will be in here. You can fit a lot in these little envelopes, so that will come with it. And I don't know, whatever else I might find around here before this goes off to its new home, I can put in there. But anyway, that is it for this journal. So I will be working on the other journals. I have an idea of something. There's something I found at a thrift store recently, and one of them would probably go really cute on here. And I don't think I have another purple one there. I know there's purple, and I have to look at what other colors. But I also kind of want to make do a small one next. Let's see, is there a purple small one? No. But let's see, that other color might go good on one of these too. So it depends. I kind of want to do a small one next to use up all the smaller bits of in my Junky Junk Journal basket. And then we can go back to some bigger ones as I collect, I'm going to get more stuff, right? More junky junk. Yeah, because you get it every day, just about pretty much, in the mail or wherever in your life. So, yeah, so I'm definitely going to work on some more of those. But usually, I only work on one at a time. So every one of my journals is unique and different. No two are alike. So thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in my next video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, because then you will get notifications of my next video. I'll see you then. Everyone have a great day. Thanks a lot.